The rain hammered against the grimy windows of the all-night laundromat like 1,000 accusing fingers, but inside, the air hung heavy with the scent of cheap detergent and desperation. Alex Rivera, soaked to the bone after a 12-hour shift dodging CPS calls and family meltdowns, froze mid-step when he spotted the kid, curled up like a discarded coat atop a row of humming dryers, no older than 15, his thin frame shivering under a threadbare hoodie. In that split second, as thunder cracked the sky open, Alex's world tilted. This wasn't just another runaway. The boy's face, pale and bruised, mirrored a ghost from his own fractured past, pulling him into a storm he never saw coming. Alex's heart slammed against his ribs, a rhythm as erratic as the spin cycles whirring around him. He was no stranger to the underbelly of Chicago's South Side. Nights like this were his battlefield, where dreams drowned in bleach and hope clung to lint traps. But this boy, with his mop of dark curls matted by rain and neglect, stirred something primal in Alex, a fierce protectiveness laced with the sharp sting of recognition. Dropping his duffel bag of case files, Alex approached slowly, his sneakers squeaking on the linoleum, whispering, "Hey kid, you okay? It's freezing in here." The boy jolted awake, eyes wide like a cornered animal's, hazel depths flickering with terror and defiance. He scrambled back, knocking over a basket of unfolded towels, his voice a ragged whisper. "Don't touch me. I ain't nobody's charity case." But his body betrayed him, trembling not just from cold, but from the weight of secrets too heavy for shoulders that narrow. Alex raised his hands, palms out, the universal sign of a social worker trained to defuse bombs wrapped in human skin. "I'm Alex. I work with kids like you. No judgments, no cops unless you say so. Just, let's get you warm, yeah?" Reluctance etched lines on the boy's face, deeper than his years should allow, but exhaustion won out. He nodded, sliding off the dryer with the grace of someone who'd learned to vanish into shadows. Up close, the bruises bloomed purple on his jaw, a map of battles Alex knew all too well from his own mirror at that age. "Name's Jamie," the kid muttered, hugging his knees as Alex shrugged off his jacket and draped it over him. "Ran from everything. Foster system's a joke." Alex bit back the urge to probe, years of protocol screaming in his head. Document, report, connect to services. But tonight, with the city howling outside and his own scars itching under his damp shirt, protocol felt like chains. He rummaged in his bag for a protein bar and a water bottle, handing them over like offerings. "Foster system's more like a meat grinder," Alex agreed, settling on a plastic chair that creaked under his weight. At 32, he carried his own grind marks, the broad shoulders from hauling himself out of the system, the faint scar above his eye from a foster dad's rage, the quiet strength that masked a heart still piecing itself together after coming out in a house that equated love with conversion therapy pamphlets. Jamie tore into the bar, devouring it in bites that spoke of hunger honed sharp. Between chews, fragments spilled out. A mom lost to opioids, a string of homes where family meant fists and slurs, the final straw a placement with a couple whose idea of welcome was locking the closet door, literally, on his face. Alex listened, nodding, his green eyes steady, the kind of gaze that said he'd been there, in the suffocating dark where identity twisted into shame. "I get it," Alex said softly, his voice carrying the lilt of his Mexican-American roots, softened by Chicago winters. "I was you once. Gay kid in a world that thinks different means defective. But you're not defective, Jamie. You're a survivor." For the first time, Jamie's guard cracked, a tentative smile ghosting his lips. You're gay too." The question hung, laced with hope and fear, the invisible thread that bound outcasts in laundromats and back alleys. Alex nodded, a weight lifting. "Yeah, and it gets better, not fairy tale better, but real. There's people out there who see you, not the labels." As the dryers hummed their lullaby, the two strangers forged a fragile bridge, stories weaving like dryer sheets in the vent. Alex shared snippets of his life. The community center where he advocated for queer youth, the boyfriend who'd bailed when the job's shadows grew too long, the quiet pride in his apartment's rainbow flag fluttering against Lake Michigan winds. But peace shattered with the laundromat door's chime. a gust of wind ushering in a man who commanded the room like he owned the ozone layer. Tall, impeccably suited despite the deluge. Armani, Alex guessed, from the cut that screamed boardrooms over backstreets. The stranger's silver-flecked hair caught the fluorescent light, his blue eyes scanning with predatory precision. He zeroed in on Jamie, who shrank back, color draining from his face. "There you are," the man said, voice smooth as aged whiskey, laced with an accent that whispered East Coast elite. "I've been searching everywhere, son." Jamie bolted upright, jacket slipping. "You're not, get away." But the man stepped forward, undeterred, his presence sucking oxygen from the air. Alex rose instinctively, positioning himself between them, his social worker instincts flaring into full alarm. "Who the hell are you?" Alex demanded, voice steady but edged with steel. The man met his gaze, unflinching, a faint smile playing on lips that had likely sealed multi-million-dollar deals. "Victor Hale, billionaire, philanthropist, and Jamie's father." The words landed like a sucker punch, rippling through Alex's veins with ice and fire. "Father?" The man reeked of privilege, the kind that built empires on the backs of the invisible, yet his eyes, those piercing blues, held a desperation that mirrored Jamie's terror. Alex's mind raced. No records, no mentions in Jamie's fractured file. This smelled of custody grabs, of money buying what blood couldn't claim. "Bullshit," Alex snapped, shielding Jamie. "Kid's been in the system for years. No one's claimed him till now." Victor's jaw tightened, a flicker of something raw, pain, regret, crossing his patrician features. "It's complicated. Jamie's mother. She kept him from me. Died last month, and the truth came out in her will." He pulled a folded paper from his coat, crisp and legal, emblazoned with a notary's seal. "Paternity results, DNA strands linking fates across decades." Jamie whimpered. "Mom said you were a monster. Abandoned us for your fancy life." Victor flinched, the crack in his armor widening. "I didn't know, son. God, I swear. She told me you were gone. Miscarriage. I mourned a ghost while you suffered." Alex's world spun, ethics clashing with empathy. As a social worker, he knew the drill: verify, protect the child. But as a man who'd clawed his way from abandonment's abyss, he saw the fractures in Victor's facade, the tremor in his hands, the way his eyes begged for absolution. Outside, lightning forked the sky, illuminating the standoff. A runaway, a guardian angel in worn jeans, and a mogul unmoored. "This isn't ending here," Alex said, voice low thunder. "We're calling it in. All of us." As sirens wailed in the distance, someone must have tipped off authorities. The laundromat became a pressure cooker, steam rising from forgotten loads, mirroring the tension coiling tight. Jamie clung to Alex's arm, a lifeline in the chaos, while Victor stood frozen, his empire reduced to a plea. In that moment, Alex felt the pull of destinies colliding, a love story not of romance but redemption, where family wasn't blood but the courage to claim the broken. Dawn crept over Chicago's skyline like a hesitant apology, painting the laundromat's windows in bruised purples and golds. Police lights pulsed blue against the walls, turning the mundane space into a crime scene tableau, though no crime had been committed yet. Alex sat on the edge of a folding table, Jamie huddled beside him under a scratchy blanket procured from the lost and found, while Victor paced like a caged panther, his polished Oxford scuffing the floor. Officer Ramirez, a no-nonsense Latino with a clipboard and a stare that peeled lies like onions, flipped through the paternity document, her brow furrowed. "This checks out preliminarily, Mr. Rivera. But protocol, we need CPS verification, psych eval for the kid, and a full background on you, Mr. Hale." Victor's nod was clipped, his usual command eroded by the night's erosion. "Whatever it takes. I've waited 14 years for this." His voice cracked on the number, a chasm of lost time yawning open. Alex shot him a sidelong glance, suspicion warring with an unwelcome pity. Who was this man, really? Tech Titan headlines painted him as a visionary. Hale Industries revolutionizing green energy, but tabloids whispered of ruthless takeovers, a personal life shrouded in NDAs and ghosted exes. Gay? The rumors swirled, but Victor's public facade was straight as a ruler. Marriages of convenience, no scandals. Alex's gut twisted. If Victor was queer, hidden in plain sight, What price had he paid for that closet? Jamie stirred, his hazel eyes darting between the adults like a deer scenting wolves. I don't want to go with him, he whispered to Alex, fingers twisting the blanket's fringe. What if he's lying? What if he just wants to fix me? The word fix landed like acid, evoking Alex's own memories of pray the gay away retreats, where love was conditional currency. Alex squeezed his shoulder, a silent vow. You don't go anywhere you don't want. I'm here, kid. We've got rights, yours first. Ramirez cleared her throat, her radio crackling with dispatch chatter. Temporary placement with Mr. Rivera pending investigation. He's licensed, clean record. Mr. Hale, you'll need to file formally through family court. Victor halted his pacing, his gaze locking on Alex with an intensity that bordered on invasive. Thank you, he said. The words weighted, not just gratitude but a bridge extended across the chasm. Alex met it warily, nodding once. Don't thank me yet. This system's a maze, full of dead ends. As the officer escorted Victor out into the graying light, promising a follow-up by noon, Alex bundled Jamie into his beat-up Honda Civic, the engine coughing to life like an old smoker's hack. The drive to Alex's Rogers Park apartment wound through streets awakening to rush hour, delivery trucks rumbling, joggers braving the drizzle, the L train shrieking overhead. Jamie stared out the window, silent, his reflection ghostly against the glass. Why were you doing this? He asked finally, voice small. You don't even know me. Alex gripped the wheel tighter, Lake Michigan's vast gray expanse flashing by on their left. Because I do know you. The scared kid, the one who dreams of a place where being you isn't a fight every damn day. I was that kid, Jamie. And someone, a teacher, actually, pulled me out of the flood. Now it's my turn. He didn't mention the ache, the way helping others patched the holes in his soul, but never filled them. His ex, Marcus, had called it noble self-sabotage, right before packing his bags for a simpler life in San Francisco. 2 years single, Alex had armored his heart with case files and community rallies, but nights like this cracked the plating. The apartment building loomed, a sturdy brick relic amid gentrifying condos, its lobby buzzing with neighbors. Mrs. Kowalski with her yapping terrier, the twins from 3B practicing violin scales. Alex's unit on the 4th floor was a sanctuary of organized chaos. Bookshelves groaning under queer-lit and psych tomes, a pride flag draped like a tapestry, kitchen counters cluttered with takeout menus and half-finished grant proposals for the center. Jamie stepped inside hesitantly, inhaling the scent of coffee grounds and lavender from the diffuser, a far cry from motel rooms and park benches. It's nice, he said, perching on the couch as if afraid to dent it. Make yourself at home, Alex replied, brewing fresh coffee while mentally cataloging. Hot meal, shower, then a call to his supervisor. But as Jamie explored the space, fingering a photo of Alex at a pride march, grinning with arms around friends, the boy paused at a framed article on the wall. You wrote this? About queer foster kids. Alex nodded, pouring mugs. Yeah. Invisible wounds. Advocating for LGBTQ youth in care. Got me a small award, bigger headaches. Jamie's eyes shone, a spark igniting. Cool. Mom used to say writing's like magic. Turns pain into power. They ate scrambled eggs and toast at the tiny dinette, conversation flowing easier in the morning light. Jamie opened up about school skips, stolen kisses with a boy at his last placement, the terror of discovery leading to that final flight. Alex shared lighter tales, his first crush on a lifeguard at Montrose Beach, the underground ballroom scene where he found his strut. Laughter bubbled, tentative but real, forging bonds in the buttery warmth. Yet beneath it, tension simmered. Victor's shadow loomed, a question mark with dollar signs. The knock came at 10 sharp, authoritative raps that echoed like summons. Alex opened the door to find Victor, sans suit now in tailored jeans and a cashmere sweater, looking almost human, vulnerable, even, with dark circles under those blue eyes. Flanking him was a lawyer, briefcase in hand, and a social worker Alex recognized from circuit meetings, Elena Vasquez. Mr. Rivera, Elena said briskly. We're here for the interim assessment. Mr. Hales filed emergency custody, hearings set for Friday. Jamie's fork clattered, appetite vanishing. Victor stepped forward, hands empty, no weapons but words. Jamie, please. Give me a chance to prove it. I have a home, rooms for you, tutors, anything. No more running. But his tone, polished and pleading, grated against the rawness of the morning. Alex interjected, he's safe here. Let's not rush this into trauma round 2. Elena nodded, mediating as she always did, her own queer mom's status a quiet ally. Supervised visits start today, Victor. Neutral ground. The center, perhaps. As the group negotiated logistics, Alex caught Victor's gaze lingering, not on Jamie, but on him. A spark, unbidden, curiosity laced with challenge. Was it gratitude, or something sharper? Alex shoved it down, focusing on Jamie's whitening knuckles. By noon, the apartment cleared, leaving echoes and unease. Victor's parting words to Jamie, "I'll wait as long as it takes," hung like a promise or threat, while to Alex, a murmured, "You're good at this. Protecting what's yours." Afternoon brought routine. Alex drove Jamie to the center, a converted warehouse pulsing with after-school energy. Art classes, support groups, basketball hoops dented by dreams. Kids like Jamie thrived here, walls splashed with murals of intertwined hands and rainbow hues. "This is your spot now," Alex told him, introducing him to Mia, the teen counselor with tattoos mapping her transition journey. As Jamie dove into a sketchpad, Alex fielded emails, the custody filing a digital dagger. But the real storm brewed in Victor's world. Back in his Gold Coast penthouse, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the city he half-owned, Victor Hale nursed a scotch, staring at the paternity report like a relic. At 52, he'd built walls higher than his skyscrapers, closeting his truth after a youth of beatings and banishment, marrying for cover, divorcing for freedom that never came. Jamie's existence was a miracle and indictment, his mother Elena's deception a grave to claw from. And Alex, the social worker's fire, that unyielding empathy, stirred embers long banked. Was it attraction, or the mirror of his younger self? Victor dialed his assistant, "Clear my schedule, and find everything on Alex Rivera." Evening descended on the center like a velvet curtain, strings of fairy lights twinkling against the encroaching dusk. Alex watched Jamie from across the room, the boy lost in a circle of peers sharing stories of first loves and first heartbreaks, tales of stolen moments in high school bathrooms, of parents' doors slamming on truths. Laughter mingled with sniffles, the air thick with validation. A bomb Alex had helped craft over 5 years at the helm. But tonight, his focus splintered, Victor's presence an impending eclipse. The supervised visit was slotted for the multipurpose room, Elena overseeing with her tablet at the ready. Victor arrived punctual, bearing no gifts but a tentative smile, his casual attire doing little to mask the aura of command. Jamie sat rigid on a beanbag, sketching ferociously, charcoal smudging his fingers like war paint. "Hey," Victor started, easing into a chair opposite, voice modulated to gentle. "I brought photos. Of the house, your room, if you want it." Jamie glanced up, eyes narrowing. "Why now?" "Mom said you were too busy climbing ladders to notice us falling." The accusation sliced, Victor's composure fracturing. He pulled out his phone, swiping to images, a sprawling estate in the suburbs, manicured lawns giving way to a treehouse in the backyard, a bedroom with navy walls and star projections on the ceiling. "I was climbing because I had to eat. Your grandparents, my parents, kicked me out at 16, called me an abomination for kissing a boy behind the bleachers. I built this life from nothing, but I lost you before I knew." The room hushed, other kids' chatter fading as empathy rippled. Jamie's pencil stilled, Victor's confession a key turning in rusted locks. You're like me." Victor nodded, throat working. "Hid it for decades. Power's a good disguise, but lonely as hell. When I heard about you, it was like fate laughing, giving me a chance to be the dad I never had." Tears welled, unashamed, and Jamie shifted closer, the beanbag sighing. Alex observed from the doorway, arms crossed, a knot of conflict in his chest. Victor's vulnerability rang true, but trust was a luxury in their line of work. Elena signaled time, but Jamie lingered, accepting a hug that started awkward, ended clinging. As Victor departed, he paused by Alex. "He's incredible. Like his mother, fierce. A beat, then softer. And you're his anchor." "Thank you." Alex's pulse quickened, those blue eyes holding layers, admiration, intrigue. "Just doing my job," he replied, but the words tasted hollow. Later, driving home, with Jamie chattering about the visit's thaw, Alex wrestled the unease. Was Victor a savior or a serpent, his interest in the boy a smokescreen for deeper designs? Sleep evaded Alex that night, the apartment's shadows dancing to the tick of his wall clock. Jamie crashed on the pull-out, snoring softly amid borrowed pajamas, his presence a warming hearth against Alex's isolation. Slipping into the kitchen, Alex brewed chamomile, scrolling news on his phone. Hale Industries' latest merger, whispers of Victor's eccentric philanthropy, a buried article from '05 about a scandalous breakup with a male model, hushed by payouts. Pieces clicked. Victor, outed in youth, armored in secrecy. Parallel to Alex's own path, yet worlds apart in privilege. Morning brought a curveball, a call from Elena. Hearings bumped to tomorrow. Victor's pushing for expedited. Judge is sympathetic to reunification. Alex's stomach dropped. Jamie needs time. Elena sighed. I know, but blood talks loud in court. Prep him, and yourself. This could get ugly. The day blurred into prep, role-playing questions with Jamie, who oscillated between excitement and dread. What if he really wants me? What if it's all fake? Alex hugged him fierce. We'll know the truth. Together. Court convened in the Daily Center's austere halls, marble echoing footsteps like judgments. Alex, in his best button-down, sat beside Jamie, Victor across the aisle in a suit that cost more than their rent. The judge, a stern woman with silver streaks, reviewed files with efficiency. Victor's lawyer, a shark in pinstripes, presented affidavits. Elena's deathbed letter confessing the lie, Victor's clean background, offers of therapy and private schooling. My client seeks only to provide the stability denied for years. Alex's turn came, voice steady as he advocated. Jamie's thriving in a supportive environment. Rushing this risks re-traumatization, especially given Mr. Hale's absence. The word hung, accusatory. Victor's lawyer countered. Absence born of deception, Your Honor. Mr. Hale's resources ensure unparalleled care. Whispers rippled from the gallery. Reporters, curious locals. Then, the twist. Jamie took the stand, voice quavering but clear. I want to know him. But not if it means losing Alex. He's family too. The judge's gavel paused, eyes softening. Temporary joint custody. Mr. Hale supervised. Mr. Rivera as co-guardian. Full eval in 30 days. Relief washed, but Victor's gaze met Alex's across the divide, a silent pact forming. Post-hearing coffee at a Loop Cafe turned confessional. Victor, unbidden, shared his exile, parents' disownment, hustling in New York's shadows, rising through grit and genius. I buried who I am to survive. Seeing you with Jamie. It's like glimpsing what I could have been. Alex stirred his latte, walls thinning. Survival's a thief. Stole my first love, my peace. But queer joy? It's in the fight, the found family. Their knees brushed under the table, electric, unspoken. Jamie, munching a muffin, grinned oblivious. This is weirdly okay. But as they parted, Victor's hand on Alex's arm lingered. Dinner? All three of us. Neutral ground. Alex hesitated, then nodded. The line between protector and pursued blurred, promising tempests ahead. That night, Jamie sketched the three of them, stick figures evolving into portraits, bonds sketched in bold lines. Alex watched, heart swelling, unaware how Victor's research unearthed his own skeletons, a foster scandal Alex had buried, whispers of misconduct that could unravel everything. The dinner reservation at Giordano's Deep Dish Haven was Victor's choice. Comfort food in a city of sharp edges, a nod to normalcy amid the maelstrom. Alex arrived with Jamie in tow, the boy's nerves masked by a fresh haircut and ill-fitting jeans from the thrift store run. The restaurant buzzed with families and tourists, the scent of bubbling cheese a welcome distraction. Victor waited at a corner booth, sleeves rolled up, tie discarded, looking less mogul, more man. You made it, he said, rising to pull out chairs, his smile genuine, crinkling the corners of his eyes. Jamie slid in first, eyeing the menu like a treasure map. Pepperoni? I've missed real pizza. Victor chuckled, a sound rich and rare. Anything you want, double crust. As orders flew, extra sausage, side salads ignored. The conversation meandered. Jamie's sketches earning Victor's awe, Alex sharing center anecdotes minus the grit. But undercurrents swirled. Victor's foot nudged Alex's accidentally, or not, sending a jolt up his leg. Blushing, Alex steered to safe waters. So, Hale Industries. What's the real story behind the green tech hype? Victor's eyes lit, passion igniting. Started with a grant for solar prototypes in college, back when I was dodging campus closeted. Now it's powering half the Midwest, clean. But success. It's hollow without someone to share it. The subtext hung, Jamie oblivious, devouring his slice. Alex probed gently. And personally? Ever think of coming out? Victor's fork paused, gaze dropping. Tried once, post-divorce. Board panicked, stock dipped. So I fund queer causes quietly. Like your center, anonymous donation last year. Alex's jaw slackened. That 5-figure check? Was you. Gratitude mingled with wariness. Philanthropy could buy loyalty or conscience salve. Jamie piped up, cool. Means you're not all bad. Laughter eased the knot. But as pie arrived, chocolate silk for indulgence, Jamie's phone buzzed. A text from an old foster buddy. Heard about you are a rich dad. You selling out. The boy's face fell, insecurities resurfacing. Victor noticed, reaching across. Hey, no pressure. This is your call always. The meal stretched, stories deepening. Victor's first pride in '89, tear-gassed in the streets. Alex's underground readings in dive bars. Poetry as rebellion. Jamie absorbed, a sponge for hope, his laughter freer. Walking out into the crisp night, wind off the river nipping, Victor offered his coat to Jamie, then turned to Alex. Walk with me, just to the car. Jamie scampered ahead, leaving them in step. You're good for him. For this, Victor murmured. Makes me wish I'd found you sooner. Alex's breath caught, the admission electric. Flattery's dangerous in custody wars. Victor halted, hand on his arm, thumb brushing pulse point. Not flattery. Truth. I've been alone too long. The kiss almost happened. Lips parting, air charged, but Jamie's call yanked them back. Sparks banked, but the fire smoldered. Back home, Jamie crashed early, buzzing from the night. Alex paced his bedroom, phone in hand, debating a text to his best friend, Theo, the center's therapist. Met the dad. Complicated. Theo's reply pinged. Complicated how? Hot complicated or lawsuit complicated? Alex groaned, collapsing onto sheets that smelled of unresolved tension. Dreams tangled that night. Laundromat fluorescence merging with boardroom fluorescence. Victor's hands, strong, seeking, intertwined with his own. Morning shattered idle with Elena's frantic call. Victor's PI dug up dirt. Old allegation against you, Alex. Foster kid claimed inappropriate contact. Recanted, but files resurfaced. Boards reviewing. Alex's blood iced. The incident, 5 years back. A hug misinterpreted by a traumatized teen. Cleared, but scarring. Victor's doing? Leverage? He stormed to the center, Jamie in tow, only to find Victor waiting in the lobby, face ashen. I had research done, standard for custody. Didn't know it had unearthed that. I shut it down, but damage. Fury boiled. Standard? Or blackmail to corner me? Victor recoiled, pain etching. God, no. I was vetting threats to Jamie, not you. If anything, it makes me admire you more, surviving smears. Alex paced, Jamie watching wide-eyed from Mia's office. Admire? This could cost me my job, my clearance. Victor stepped closer, voice low. Let me fix it. Lawyers, PR, whatever. The offer tempted, a lifeline or noose. I don't need your money. I need trust. Their eyes locked, battlefield to bridge. Resolution came mid-afternoon. The allegation debunked again, Victor's team quashing it with affidavits. Gratitude soured by suspicion, Alex agreed to a cooling-off period. No visits, just calls. Jamie sulked. Don't hate him. He's trying. Alex sighed, ruffling his hair. Trying's not enough. Gotta earn it. But alone, doubts gnawed. Was Victor's interest paternal projection or genuine pull? The man haunted his thoughts, a puzzle of power and pain mirroring his own guarded heart. Weeks blurred into a tense détente. Jamie split time, weekends at Victor's estate, where pools and ponies dazzled but isolation loomed. Weekdays with Alex, grounding in routine and rainbows. Reports trickled. Victor enrolling in parenting classes, donating to the center openly now, his nameplate gleaming. Then, the invite. Hale Industries Gala, black tie for queer youth initiatives. Bring Jamie, Victor texted Alex. And you, as my plus one? The audacity sparked, but curiosity won. Suit rented, Jamie beaming in a mini tux, they entered the Palmer House ballroom, chandeliers dripping light like diamonds. Victor, in bespoke tux, greeted them with champagne flutes, non-alcoholic for Jamie, and a tour of donors, his hand possessive at Alex's back. Whispers followed. Hale's coming out. Cameras flashed, society pages primed. On the dance floor, slow jazz swelling. Victor pulled Alex close. This is me out for him, for us. Lips met then, soft and searing, acclaim amid swirling gowns. But ecstasy crashed with a reporter's mic. Mr. Hale, rumors of a hostile takeover. Your board's fracturing over this. Personal announcement. Victor stiffened, pulling back. Not now. Yet the seed of sabotage sprouted. Anonymous leaks hinting boardroom coups tied to his outing. As confetti fell, Alex sensed shadows lengthening, love's dawn threatening dusk. The gala's afterglow faded into fallout, Chicago's elite buzzing with Victor's bold reveal, headlines screaming, billionaire comes out with mystery social worker. Alex woke to voicemails, center board praising visibility, Theo teasing scandalous, and Jamie's excited babble from Victor's guest room. But beneath the buzz, unease festered. Victor's board meeting loomed, sharks circling the chum of his authenticity. Over breakfast, bagels airlifted from New York, because of course, Victor confided. They're threatening proxy votes. Say my distraction tank stock. Jamie, munching, frowned. Distract? You're happy, that's good, right? Alex admired the kid's clarity, sipping coffee black as his mood. Happiness scares the suits. They prefer closets for profits. Victor's hand covered his, anchor. Then I'll fight. For all of us. The vow sealed with a kiss, tender amid the opulence, but Alex's mind whirred. His own career teetered on the scandal's edge, whispers of conflict of interest from conservative donors. Yet in Victor's arms, vulnerability bloomed, shared histories of hiding, now unfurling like flags in wind. The week devolved into siege. Victor jetted between board skirmishes and Jamie's school enrollment, Alex juggling center crises amplified by paparazzi at the doors. One evening, as Alex prepped a queer history workshop, Jamie burst in, tear-streaked. Kids at school, said dad's a freak, that you're his toy. Punched one, got suspended. Rage and sorrow collided. Alex enveloped him, rocking. They're wrong. We're pioneers. But the call to Victor crackled with urgency. We need family therapy, now. The session with Elena unfolded in her cozy office, beanbags and tissues at hand. Walls tumbled, Jamie voicing abandonment fears, Victor confessing his closeted youth's isolation, Alex admitting his terror of losing the boy to wealth's whirl. I see myself in you both, Alex said, voice thick. The fight to belong. Tears flowed, cathartic, bonds solid strong. Emerging, they dined at a hole-in-the-wall taqueria, laughter reclaiming space. Victor's jokes dad corny, Jamie's eye rolls affectionate. But fortune twisted with a late-night knock. Detectives at Alex's door, badges glinting. Mr. Rivera, questioning on embezzlement from the center. Anonymous tip. Heart plummeting. Alex complied. Ride to the station a blur of lights. Interrogation room stark, coffee bitter. Missing funds traced to vendor irregularities, but the tip fingered him. Timing too neat, post-gala. Victor arrived furious, lawyers in tow, but Alex waved him off. This reeks of your board. Leverage to oust you, through me. Victor's face drained. I'll end it. But proof eluded, the frame job slick. Released on technicalities, Alex returned to a fortified apartment, Jamie guarded by Mia. Victor stayed, pacing like a sentinel. I built an empire on trust. Now it's poison. In the dim lamplight, confessions deepened. Victor's past affair with a board member turned rival, blackmail fodder unearthed. He knows about us. Wants me broken. Alex pulled him close, foreheads touching. Then we break the cycle. Together. Dawn brought strategy. Alex's ally Theo dug digital trails, uncovering the rival's IP on leaked sites. Victor confronted the board in a marathon session, outing the saboteur with evidence, stocks stabilizing on transparency's wave. The rival resigned in disgrace, but scars lingered. Jamie's school transfer to a progressive academy, Alex's center audit clearing him but eroding donor faith. Amid rubble, resilience flowered. Victor proposing cohabitation. Our family, our terms. Alex wavered. Too fast. Jamie's plea, please, tipped scales. Moving day to Victor's estate felt surreal. Alex's thrift treasures mingling with antiques. Jamie's room a starlit haven. First night, dinner al fresco under pergola lights, toasts to new chapters. But midnight brought Jamie's nightmare, thrashing from phantom fists. Alex soothed, Victor joining, 3 bodies a protective cocoon. We're safe, Victor whispered, and for once, it rang true. Yet prejudice prowled beyond gates. A protest at the center, bigots waving signs protect kids from agenda, escalated when Alex emerged, slurs flying. Victor, arriving serendipitous, waded in, voice booming authority. This is my family you're hating. Back off. Police dispersed, but the venom seeped. Online trolls doxing, threats scrawled on walls. Jamie hardened, sketching protest art for a rally. Alex channeled into advocacy, Victor funding security. Climax brewed at the rally, thousands marching Michigan Avenue, rainbows clashing with counter-hate. Alex spoke, voice amplified. Love isn't prejudice's prey. It's our power. Victor followed, hand in Alex's. From closets to congresses, we're here. Jamie waved his banner, pride swelling. But chaos erupted. A hurled bottle cracking Victor's brow, scuffle ensuing. Alex shielded Jamie, heart hammering, as medics swarmed. In the ER, stitches sealing, Victor quipped, first scar for a good cause. Alex kissed his temple, worth it. Healing wove tighter bonds. Fall turned to winter, holidays a tapestry. Hanukkah candles with Victor's Jewish roots, posadas for Alex's heritage, Jamie's adopted rituals blending. But a letter arrived, Jamie's bio-grandmother, Victor's mother, post-rehab, seeking amends. I was wrong. Let me know my grandson. Forgiveness's fork. Victor trembled. She broke me once. Alex counseled. Breaking cycles means mercy sometimes. Jamie decided. One visit. Supervised. The meeting in Neutral Park, snow-dusting benches, unfolded fragile. Grandmother's apologies poured, wrinkles mapping regrets. Feared what I didn't understand. Jamie hugged tentative. Victor watched stone-faced, thawing pixel by pixel. Progress, he admitted later, over hot cocoa. Alex smiled. Family's messy art. Spring bloomed revelations. Alex discovering Victor's hidden journal. Poems to lost loves. Queer anthems penned in secret. You wrote this. Awe bridged gaps. Victor blushed. Silly dreams. Beautiful truths. Alex countered. Their lovemaking that night. Tender. Exploratory. Sealing soul's sands skins excess. Emotions cresting waves. Yet conflict crested anew. Jamie's first crush. A classmate named Riley. Sweet but scared. School whispers crushed him. Confession to Alex tearful. What if I'm too much? Like dad's coming out. Guidance flowed. Own your story, but pace it. Victor added gruff wisdom. I hid too long. Don't repeat. Riley's reciprocation came tentative. A handhold at the center dance. Jamie's glow infectious. Summer solstice brought the hearing's finale. Full custody to Victor, with Alex enshrined as guardian ad litem, de facto family. Judge's words. Love's the truest bond. Celebration at the lakefront, picnic under fireworks, promises etched in sparks. But as embers died, Victor knelt. Not ring, but key. Build with me. Not my empire, our life. Alex, tears pricking, accepted, yes. Autumn leaves carpeted the estate's grounds in crimson and gold, a metaphor for the slow burn of their evolving triad. Alex had traded his Rogers Park lease for a sunlit suite overlooking the gardens, his books intermingling with Victor's first editions, Jamie's art pinning walls like declarations. Mornings ritualized, coffee in the sunroom, Victor reviewing briefs while Alex planned center expansions. Victor's funding now a lifeline, not a leash. Jamie, thriving at his new school, dashed off to clubs, his laughter echoing halls once silent. But harmony harbored hurdles. Victor's ex-husband, A fleeting marriage from his closet days resurfaced via lawyer, claiming alimony arrears tied to emotional distress from the outing. Court dates loomed, dredging Victor's suppressed shame. He knew it was cover. Victor vented one eve, scotch in hand. Alex massaged tense shoulders. Shame's the real ex. Kick it out. Therapy sessions unearthed more. Victor's fear of abandonment, mirroring Jamie's. Alex's own abandonment echoes resonating. We're echoes healing, Elena noted, her insights gold. Jamie's arc deepened. His sketches exhibited at a youth gallery, themes of fractured families mending, drawing queer icons praise. A collector, Victor's rival, reformed, offered a scholarship, strings-free. Pride swelled, but so did fears. A school dance invite from Riley sparked joy, then jitters when parental permission required disclosure. They might freak, Jamie fretted. Victor, drawing from pain, coached, truth's your shield. The parents' warm welcome, rainbow stickers on their fridge, sealed young love's first chapter. Jamie's kiss under Jim lights a victory lap. Alex's center flourished, gala proceeds funding a shelter wing named Hail Rivera Haven. But backlash bit. A funder withdrew, citing politics, forcing Alex to rally community. Victor joined a panel, his vulnerability viral. Privilege isn't permission to hide. It's platform to protect. Views soared, donations doubled, but trolls targeted Jamie's socials, while messages unearthed by Victor's security. Delete it all, Alex urged, but Jamie stood firm. No, I'll draw over the hate. Winter's grip tightened with a blizzard stranding them indoors. Board games and hot toddies forging intimacy. Stories spilled, Alex's foster escapes, Victor's street hustles, Jamie's park bench vigils. One night, power out, candles flickering, Victor proposed formally. Ring simple, silver with engraved infinity. Marry the mess? Alex laughed through tears, every knot. Jamie hooped. Finally, wedding planning wove whimsy. Venue at the center, vows blending cultures. Roses and menorahs, queer choir belting anthems. But prenup talks unearthed fissures. Victor's lawyer insisted clauses for Jamie's trust, Alex bristling. Love or litigation? Victor relented. Love wins. Invites extended to the grandmother, her RSVP a tearful yes. Spring rehearsal dinner turned revelatory. Ex-husband appearing uninvited, drunk and demanding. You owe me, Vic, for the lies. Chaos erupted, Jamie shielding eyes, but Victor faced him calm. I owe you closure, but not chains. Security escorted, but the sting lingered. Victor retreated to study, doubts gnawing. Alex followed. We're not your past's prisoners. Embrace led to dawn, recommitments fire. Ceremony day dawned brilliant, center transformed. Arches of wildflowers, guests a mosaic of allies. Jamie walked Alex down the aisle, ring bearer grin wide. Vows echoed. Victor's, you taught me home's a heart, not a house. Alex's, you showed me strengths and surrender. Kiss sealed, cheers erupted, Riley toasting Jamie with punch. Honeymoon in Provincetown, beaches and bike rides, no billionaires, just them. But return brought bombshell. Jamie's DNA test revealing a half-sibling. Elena's secret from another liaison, now orphaned in system. We find them, Victor declared, Alex nodding. Search spanned states, landing a shy girl, Lila, 10, eyes like Jamie's. Integration tentative, foster first, then adoption papers. Lila's arrival, clutching a stuffed fox, melted walls. Jamie's big brother role bloomed, bedtime stories his new art. Conflicts crested in Lila's adjustment. Nightmares echoing Jamie's past, prejudices from her bio family's echoes. Family therapy marathon, progress in puzzles and park swings. Victor's board, stabilized, greenlit a foundation for queer families, Alex directing. But a media storm brewed. Ex-husband's tell-all book, billionaire's betrayal, leaks poisoning air. Sales tanktail stock, Victor's resolve tested. Let them talk, he said, but eyes betrayed fear. Counterstrike, joint op-ed in the Tribune, from shadows to strength, chronicling their journey. Public adored, book buried, foundation launched with fanfare. Lila's first pride parade, atop Victor's shoulders, banner waving, symbolized triumph. Years folded, Jamie college-bound, art major, Riley by side, Lila blossoming in ballet, her laugh symphony. Alex and Victor, silver threading hair, renewed vows at 10 years, center expanded to national model. Grandmother's visits routine, her stories bridging generations. Epilogue whispered in quiet. Laundromat memory, that rainy night birthing family from fragments. Alex, arm around Victor, Jamie's wedding invite in hand. To him and Riley, smiled. We made it. Victor kissed his temple. And keep making. In Chicago's heartbeat, love's drama endured. Not perfect, but profound.